came in here. He doesn't even know what the food is. He came in here to show me how the Burgundy hide. So there's like two pieces of shit up there that kept fake sniffling and touching their fucking nose. You know, they went a little bit at me today. If you see, I'm a merge the two videos before this one. You're gonna see how they do their bullshit at the gym. I had to deal with this 20 years ago almost, you know, for the first time before YouTube existed or right as it came out. You know what I mean? There was no TI community back then. People like me who was targeted at that time had no idea what the fuck was going on, and because of that, the cops never showed that they were involved. So you are completely lost. You are completely lost. You had literally no idea what's going on. All you start knowing is that people start turning on you. People start laughing at you. You know, I didn't get color sensitization or noise stimuli. What I got was basically being followed, cars honking at me, and people recording me with their phones. And I never knew that these were people being instructed by the cowardly law enforcement. And I always wanted to be a cop, and I always backed the blue. But these policing programs target people under the assumption that they have a potential to commit a crime. Think about how fucked up that is. Think about how fucked up that is. These proactive fucking policing programs. By the way, this is a whole base of operations. Because this is where I work at. This is a whole base of operations. I don't know. I gotta bounce because, you know, I gotta leave the country. Even if this happens in a different country, you know, I have a town in my homeland where the majority of that town, it's small, it's my family. All of you that say your family involved, I'm sorry to bust your bubble, they're not. You're hyper paranoid. I hate to drop the P-bomb, but you're hyper paranoid. And all this time I've been targeted, which I was not targeted overtly for 20 years. They went overt 20 years ago, and then they stopped. And then I didn't know what happened. I thought it was over with. And then last year they went overt again. You know, so, and my family was never involved in this. In fact, now some of my family believes me. Some of my friends believe me because I know how to explain it. I'm not like some of you very misinformed. It's the Freemasons. It's the Eastern Stars. I'm so important. The Freemasons and the Eastern Stars are obsessed with me. These are policing programs. You know, either you have behavioral traits, you know, if you were from a broken home, or you're passed around, adopted, you're through, you know, what the fuck you call that? Foster home, the foster home, you know, you'll be a concern. You know, the FBI could pick that up, and you have traits that these school shooters used to have. You know, so that could make you a person of concern. That doesn't mean everyone's going around saying you're a pedophile. That's not what that means. You know, so I don't know. You know, enough's enough. I'm sick of everywhere that I go, I'm ostracized. I can't even bag a bitch at my gym because I'm ostracized there. I'm a fucking joke. Back in the day, this used to happen to me. I didn't know what's going on. So from New York, my family moved to California, and I thought I was home free. And, you know, I thought I was going to escape this shit because I didn't know what it was. And that shit was worse in California, in Fullerton. You know, I worked hard. I busted my ass. And, you know, I noticed where I used to work, you know, because I was in construction. And wherever I used to go to work, sometimes there'd be people in the store downstairs that would laugh at me. I just noticed people laughing at me and staring at me. When I used to drive around, people used to follow me and honk their horn at me. Always honking their horn at me everywhere I went. You know, people used to record me with their phone, you know, but I don't know. It was bad. And I started getting panic attacks. I was an alcoholic, but I didn't know the severity of what was going on. I didn't know I was on some federal database or the FBI database for extra surveillance. And now they're conducting a bullshit fake ass investigation, assessment, control plan, whatever the fuck, you know. And that's horrible because I literally had to take medication for anxiety because, you know, everywhere I went, I remember going to the gym, people would bust out laughing in my face. And I after a while of trying to prove it to my family, and because I did not know how to articulate what was happening, they would just thought I'm paranoid and something's wrong with me. You know, because the cops never showed their face. They hid it. They had their civilians and communities do this for them. You know, I'm going to make a video about my story. But basically, I got to be out. And I hope they don't interfere with that. I'd rather be on my back dead than on my knees alive. And if it has to come to that, I'm going to fucking, you know, do some type of video or write some post on my Facebook just explaining this. And that's it. If you don't want to believe me, go fuck yourself. Look at this. Always followed. Always followed. This is a base of operations. 24/7 at my job, I get fucking fucked with. 80% of the people that walk by here are just informants and part of these policing groups. Later.